Hi, all, and welcome to Monday night's All Meta Mode podcast with Gypsy, myself, Amanda Digger-Degaz, and we have special guest Alison Walker. Before we get started with tonight's show, just a reminder that September is tomorrow. So, Dirt Digest magazine September issue will be dropping tomorrow. So, if you could go over to dirtdigestmagazine.com, click on current issue, and you can check out the new September issue. Again, that's dirtdigestmagazine.com. Click on current issue, and you could read the September issue. While you're there, you could also check out prior issues. I know that the Spanish Real that I had found is in the August issue. I think it was the August issue, maybe the July issue. Nope, August issue. So you can go back and look at other finds and articles and stories, and just a great all-around monthly online magazine. All right, again, that's dirtdigestmagazine.com. So that's all I have to talk about tonight to open. So, hey, Gypsy, how are you?
I am fantastic. How about you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Good. You got to get out this week and do a little I Spy or scraping or digging?
Actually, I didn't get out at all during the week, but I did get out. I was kind of foolish, and it was pouring on Saturday and kind of cold and yucky, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to go out. And I went to one of my spots, and it was really a miss. And I'm like, I need to go to this other area. And with the rain, there was like a little river area that was still coming down. So I went to step across like the water rushing down this hill, and the area that I thought was solid was not solid. It faked me out. So I stepped down and went up to my knee in basically a river and went backwards. So I landed in like pretty good mud. So I hurt my butt and hurt my elbow and was like, all right. I got up and I'm like trying to peel the mud off and emptied my boot. No. And I went back and I'm like, I kept looking at the area like, you know what? I know there's probably something over there. But at that point, like the wind was picking up. I was wet and cold. And so I gave up and I went home. And Sunday, John talked me into going out for a little bit. And I did. I managed to get out and play some I Spy. And I found this awesome, it is a submarine, World War II submarine pin, which comes to find out it's from like the naval shipyard near me. I guess they made them and handed them out, so that was really neat to find. And
that is cool.
Oh, I did get out for an hour on Friday, but the high tide was kicking my butt. So I went out and I knew I only had a few minutes and picked an area and started doing a little scraping and swishing. That way you get like the mud off the top layer and you can see. And I did. I found a ring, so that was cool.
Ooh.
That was
cool.
What
was the ring of? What kind of ring?
I think it's just a copper ring. The stone's missing in the center. I actually haven't cleaned it up yet. But
well, that's still cool though. Awesome.
Yeah. So how about you? Have you gotten out some?
Well, I did get out once. So I went yesterday with my friend Zola and my buddy Scott. And it was Zola's very first time water hunting. It's been around 105 on average here in Texas the last several days, but yesterday it was a little cooler, and today it was even a little more cooler. When I say cooler, about 100. So it's just too hot to get out there and do too much digging out in the, fields, especially if you don't have a bunch of shade. So we went to the river, and like I said, it was Zola's first time. I let her use my AT Pro. I use the AT Max, and then my buddy Scott uses the Garrett AT Pro. And last time I went with Scott, he found 2 silver rings and a really nice tungsten ring, and I found a tungsten ring. And then we both pretty much got skunked this time. We found coins, of course, and that's all, modern clad. And I did get 1 ring that looks like it's copper, but it's just junk. And then Zola got a bunch of coins for her first time, but she found this lighter that looks like a grenade. At first it was like, what the heck did you find? But for her first time, she did really good. So
awesome.
It was a lot of fun, and we cooled off and found a lot of clad. And I did find a really nice pair of sunglasses, so that was cool. But other than that, we pretty much got skunked. But anyway, that's about it.
If you could send...
I did get out to send some of that heat.
Yeah, I'll send you some of the cool air if you'll send me some of the heat.
Okay. I did get out to a new permission. They're going to be tearing down a house that was built in 1907. And really sad that I've only got to the 13th, and I'm going to be going out of town, so I'm really probably only going to have a couple days to hit it. But I met with the lady that's moving out of the property. She was just renting. But anyway, they're going to build like a retirement center on the property, so we've only got a short while. But they started tearing down one of the old barns yesterday. But I detected for just a few, I guess maybe 20 minutes out there in the 105-degree weather, and didn't last very long. And I got the innards to like a pocket watch and some horse tack, and I don't remember what else. Not much, but was waiting till it could cool off and we'd get back out there. And she has an AT Max, so I was showing her how to use it and stuff like that. She hasn't had it very long and still learning. So anyway, it was fun. So hoping to get back out there to that property before they tear it down and build another, build something on it. But anyway, so we have our special guest this evening. She's just joined chat. If y'all get a chance, if you're in chat, say hi. And let's go ahead and just bring in our guest. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Awesome.
Hi.
Well,
hi, Amanda.
Hi, Allison. Welcome to the show. And I don't remember, but I know I got to meet you in person at the Pound the Ground last year. Amanda was there. Did you get a chance to meet her there or see her?
I believe I said hello, but I didn't introduce myself.
Okay.
I have
that crowded room we were in.
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny. Till everyone got kicked out.
Yeah. Well, welcome, and we're excited to have you and learn more about you and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to hand it over to my partner and podcast crime and let her start us off.
So, Allison, could you give us a little backstory on where you're from and how long you've been detecting and what type of detector you started with?
Sure. I've been detecting 8 years. Sorry, I'm originally from a suburb in Toronto, Ontario. So basically southern Ontario on the North Shore. of Lake Ontario. Grew up there for many years, became the first female journeyman power lineman in Canada in 1992 for Etobicoke Hydro, and then it amalgamated to Toronto Hydro, and met my now ex. And I took a buyout package and then I worked for the city of Brampton. It's one of the largest municipalities in North America. I think in the top 10 for sure. And I'm a traffic signal and streetlight inspector. So I'm still in the hydro field. There's only 2 of us in all of Brampton. I was the first one hired. Wow. And just had my 15 years there. I could have been retired by now, but it happened, right? So 8 years ago, I was at a charity golf tournament, the Kelly Shires Breast Cancer Foundation. 2 of the girls, every year we have to raise money. I'm in my 13th year, and I'm very blessed with the incredible benefits. We are definitely in the top 7 benefit packages that our union fought for us in Ontario, in Canada for that matter. And I'm very grateful for my benefits because I am a rare anus cancer survivor. And to go and buy medicine, it costs me $1.35, where some of these patients are spending thousands of dollars because they don't have benefits. So I signed up. Now I'm in my 13th year, straight year out of, I think the Kelly Shires has been around for 25 years. And every year I raise money, and the last 3 years I've raised my funds to be able to participate by using my passion for metal detecting. So anyways, 8 years ago I attended this Kelly Shires golf tournament, and I saw a metal detector on the table, and I bid on it, and I had a bit of competition, but my very first machine was the MindLab Xterra 305. So soon after, there was a seated hunt put on by Radio World. Jack Summers, Diane, and the crew there at Radio World are just amazing. He's a dealer for MindLab. Garrett, and now he just picked up the Nocta lineup. And every year, Jack and the crew put on an amazing hunt, whether it be down at Toronto's Cherry Beach or up at Wasaga Beach. And unfortunately, this year, they couldn't host an event due to the ongoing world COVID issues. So they played it safe and smart, and we all missed our detecting family. But so soon after, I went to the seated hunt, and I was hooked. There was all kinds of coins in the ground, and it was a very special day where in North America, it was the MindLabbing Day in Toronto, and there was tons of prizes. I think I brought 2 of my 3 daughters out, and another friend's daughter who actually won a machine. Wow. I won a machine and gave it away to another child at one of the events. But I was hooked, and right after that, I purchased from Steve Zazulik a MindLab, what was it? E-Track, and the E-Track was awesome. That's a great machine, but unfortunately, it's not waterproof. About 3 to 4 years later, I was hitting Wasaga Beach every weekend, going in the water, and then I saw the Excalibur come out, and I went and purchased that brand new with the Excalibur 2, MindLab Excalibur 2, and I was hooked. And soon after, I started with my open water diving, and I'm naturally drawn to water, being an Aquarius, as well as when I grew up, I do have a twin sister, and we used to be competitive swimmers at the Olympium in Etobicoke. My sister, Gwen, missed the Olympics by 2/100ths of a second, but we used to compete against each other being twins. So I've always been drawn to water, and I thought, why didn't I do this years ago? And this would have been a great hobby to do with my father, now my late father. But and I'm just completely. I wish this was my full-time job now, but I'm looking forward to retirement. Still a ways away, and just getting over some hurdles with the ex and whatnot. But it's really, I can't say enough that this hobby is my savior, because I've gone down some dark paths, and I can't wait to get out after work. Or today I was out at lunchtime in one of our Brampton parks with permission, and I was actually looking for something special that belongs to a gentleman that he lost off his finger. So I go back every lunch hour and just continue gritting. But I just, even when I joined Scuba Wise, I went to, I guess it's coming up to 3 years ago, I took Scuba Wise and meeting Captain Carl Fismer, Captain Brad Williamson,
awesome.
and Dive Master Mark Littleton, and I'm completely hooked. I want to go and retire down there, and I want to be a crew member. And Gary Penta and Jerry, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, it's just mind-blowing. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of safety, but dive detecting, and look who the mentors I have, like Steve Zuzulik and Ryan Fazika, and Captain Carl, the Captain Fizz. I love listening to that guy. I could listen for days. I just keep after feeding him rum, right?
Yes. And I'm sure he's got so many good stories too.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
Oh. Yeah, so
you've taken several trips to Florida, and have you done?
Yes.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, I actually had this Christmas, New Year's booked off, and I was going to book off the first 2 weeks of January to go down to Florida and do some treasure hunting with some of the guys. But maybe start looking for a trailer down there for retirement as well in the winters.
Oh, wow.
So, but now I had to cancel my holidays with the COVID, and unfortunately, they think the borders still will not be opened at Christmas here.
Oh, man. Yeah, this COVID stuff has really put a damper on it, because I thought we were all going to get to, see each other in October, but that's not happening. But hopefully, by the next year we'll be able to we'll have all those borders open and be able to get together and do some digging together again. But when they are, you'll have to let us know when you go to Florida.
Who knew we would be living through this kind of health crisis? Like, never in my day would I have thought something like this would take place at all. But it's a learning experience for everyone to be safe and take all the precautions. There's still, I'd say 80%, maybe 75% of the staff where I work are still working from home. I was ordered back after the third week, and I was happy to go back, because sitting in my house alone was tough. It was really tough. And again, I'm so grateful for the city of Brampton. They had a mental health learning days that we could sit at home and sign up for courses and just listen to these speakers talk about mental health during this time. And the one that really changed my life was called mindful meditation. And it was like a light switch. To me, it's like a reset button in life. What is important? Your family, what you're doing in life, your health. And after that, I got back on. I'm also an associate for Isogenics. It's a nutritional health cleansing system. So I went back on. I got on my Precor elliptical down in the basement, and I've lost 36 pounds in 3 months. So I
wow, good for you.
Thank you. And it just
I gained the COVID curve. I call it the COVID curve.
I think 80% of people did. So.
But yeah, that is fascinating. Well, you've been through, cancer survivor, and then I know, me as a cancer survivor, and not even just as a cancer survivor, but for many people, like you were talking about meditation and stuff, metal detecting is just such a therapeutic thing. When you're out detecting, you just kind of can zone out into your own little world, concentrate on what you're doing, and it's just so therapeutic, isn't it?
Absolutely. I leave the house, my housework. I have to answer to myself, and I say, screw that, I'm going detecting. I know my priorities. I got my priorities right.
Right. And I'm sure it's totally different. How deep do you dive when you're on some of those diving, looking for some of these rings and things that you find?
Well, I'm open water certified, so I go to a max 40 feet until I continue my training to advanced open water, which is 110 feet. And that's one good thing about the Excalibur, too. It will go that far. Plus, I have a Detechnix pinpointer, which goes 200 feet.
Wow.
But most of the ring finds are anywhere from chest deep to 27 feet that I've been on. I'm going back in the next few weeks when I can get a day with the couple. And their lake has dropped 10 feet, where all the other lakes, Lake Ontario and Georgian Bay and a lot of areas have risen tremendously. This lake has dropped 10 feet. So now my third or fourth last ring find, the one that was underneath the dock for the young couple, they just got engaged. And the father is a pool builder from Burlington, Ontario. And he had talked about, underwater gridding. And I told him I do circular gridding, and I'm trying to get somebody to manufacture something that moves. So he said, leave it with me. Called me the next day. He had it made already. I went and met him, and wow. I can't wait to try it. And it's a pool with pool PVC, and then he has a larger collar on it with a hook. So I can't wait to try it. I have a second, like a lane marker that I put in because that location up in Lake Dalrymple is 2 to 3 feet of silt further from shore. And I've done a circular gridding. The first time I did it, I covered a good 100-foot span across. The problem is when I asked how long it took them to GPS location, it was, the wife said it was 4 minutes. And the last time I went last year, the husband said, no, it was 25 minutes before we GPS. And I said, because every time I'm out with you, you guys always drift. So the next time I go in, which is going to be shortly, will be the 8th attempt. I'm not giving up because the husband worked for my late father at Toronto Hydro for 35 or 40 years, so he's like family. So, and I compete with myself too. I go back, if I don't find it and I'm not happy with my grid searching, even on a beach or this Brampton Park today, when I'm finished grid searching, I will then, and I don't find it, I will tell the clients to put out a poster for a reward. If the ring is that sentimental to them and buying a new one. The rings I do find, I continue to post them on social media. I can't keep them. I wasn't raised that way. To each their own. I know guys that have 4 or 5 shoeboxes full of rings. That's them. That's not me. And I'll continue to post them. I know, it's one I found. It's over 30 years old from Tobermory, and I would love to get it back to the owners, which I feel lives in Toronto. So I found just recently a maker's mark, and it was original to Toronto, and they've moved to Woodbridge, so I'm going to contact them. And I just, I can't get enough of it. And to see the smile, so I usually charge to go out. If I'm already there, I don't ask for anything. But when I find the lost item, instead of taking a reward, the client has to make a immediate online donation to the Kelly Shires Breast Cancer Foundation. I always ask. It's like a tip to me that they appreciate what I did for them, and the value between 10 and 20%. If they want to do 50%, that's fine. And they get a tax receipt for whatever they donate. So it's a win-win situation for everyone, especially when I find their lost item. And I love making them cry. I don't know if you saw the last video with the young man from Sunridge, Ontario, which is 4 hours away. And the one, did you see the one? I took another ring finder, Anne, from Peterborough, and we drove all the way up to Thunder Bay. That Thunder Bay and back was 1,770 miles round trip. And we went up there, drove straight, and it took us, I think, 16 hours up, and we kept switching off driving. It's like, I'm so tired, or we would switch off, and my eyes would cross. It's like, Anne, you got to drive. I'd wake her up. And we got there, and it was pouring rain and thundering lightning. And we just said, okay, let's rest. And we could hear the thunder stop. It's like, okay, we're going to get wet anyways. Let's go. And Anne had the new Blue 3 Nemo unit with her, and so she was just off to the side. I mean, it was only 6, 7, 8 feet deep. So I had asked a young lady, she had lost her late grandmother's engagement ring that was given to her 2 years ago, because when she lost the ring, it was their first anniversary, and the ring flew off and they couldn't find it. She was absolutely heartbroken. So I thought, no, let's go in. This is going to be a crazy adventure. Like, who else is going to drive this kind of mileage? So I concentrated on the area. I got her to go to Google Earth, take a snapshot, mark an X where they think it is, and then another one to zigzag around with a highlighter, or you can do that in, I think it is MapArt or something, or one of the programs that you save a picture and you can do X's and just circle a whole area. So I'll grid it. So I found a ring in about 40 minutes. And Anne did very well, too. I'm not going to say what she found. And then we turned around, went to grab breakfast, and we did a FaceTime with her. I saved the video, and we made her cry. I said, I've got some bad news. And I said, it was raining and da-da-da-da-da. I've got bad news. She goes, her face dropped. She goes, what? And then I put the ring up to her, because I like to surprise them too, but not too crazy.
Right.
And she just bawled because it meant so much to her. And that's why I love seeing people returning rings, because the meaning, the sentiment of value, even if it's just a titanium ring, it was blessed. Say it was a wedding ring, it was blessed, and it represents their marriage. And I just love seeing people returning rings if they can. And yeah.
There's nothing more rewarding than being able to return those.
I keep in touch with Anne. I said, you up for another crazy adventure if we get another crazy call out? She goes, sure. Yeah, that was a wild one. That one's, I'm going to remember that for a long time. But I love helping people. I love teaching people. I was supposed to start a ladies group this year. A lot more women are getting involved in the hobby. And I know we go to group hunts and they feel intimidated with all the guys. And we're going to maybe do something next year when this is all over, and then help women out either picking a machine. I always send them to a dealer that where they live, and based on their budget and what they want to do, just land or land and water, and try and help them out that way. So, yeah.
That's awesome. It's always great to, because us women are the minority in the hobby, and so it's always awesome to see, you help those people, get started and all that good stuff. I know that Amanda's got some more questions for you, and I think we had another question in the chat as well.
Yeah, we did.
Did you see that, Amanda?
Yeah. Ohio Relic Hunter, or Bill, wanted to know if you take a spotter or a buddy diving with you while you're doing those ring searches.
Yes, we should be. When I have someone looking over me they can see me at 10 feet or 8 feet. They don't need to be a diver. A lot of times, again, it's like 20 feet deep. They can see me if they have goggles and a snorkel. I have gone once or twice with somebody in a boat watching over me, and a line attached to me. But it is highly recommended for a spotter diver. If I don't have one and I'm not comfortable at 8 or 12 feet and they can't see me, I won't dive. So I have had one that I was trying to schedule, and I didn't know the father of the guy that lost a ring, and I don't know. He's a diver, but I don't know him. And I've given that job away to another more experienced diver with 50 plus years. So, yeah, when I don't feel comfortable or something, and I always ask questions when I'm doing ring finds, and, I pick a lot of information out, like they forget to tell me that they were throwing a football. Well, that makes a huge difference, right? Because the trajectory of the ring. Sometimes it's just one location where they were and it's easy, but they say, oh yeah, and I had it all over here, and sometimes it's not even close to where they said. So
you had said that you're searching currently during your lunch breaks for a ring recovery right now, but you had said that you needed permission to metal detect in that park. Is that the way that the rules work in the area that you are? Like you need either a permit or permission?
No, I know some areas in southern Ontario you do need a permit, like Guelph, Ontario, which is about half hour away. Windsor, the guy in Windsor went to tremendous lengths. They said no to any metal detecting, and he worked with help with the town of Windsor. And as well as Sarnia now has no metal detecting areas. I always ask permission, whether I need it or not, because it shows the farmer or the landowner or the municipality that I have respect for the property. I work for the city of Brampton, but I still ask. And, I just think it's the right thing to do. You will never catch me moonlighting. I know there was a bunch of guys in Niagara doing that after dark, and you get caught, you just give a bad name to the hobby, and that will cut off any chances for anyone else to go in. I think it's nice to see people being honest and being upfront with their intentions, and I think it's highly recommended to ask permission, for sure.
Yeah, I've never considered asking a municipality due to the fact that there's areas that have the signs that say no metal detecting, and then there's the local parks, and at least in my area, that you're allowed to metal detect. So therefore I've never.
Yeah.
But I mean, private properties and things like that, permission is definitely key.
And a lot of beach areas are in provincial parks as well. Wasaga Beach, they know me very well because I have a number of items that I'm turning in that are historical artifacts. I clean up everything, the pull tabs, and I always take a picture. It's not about the rings. I don't get tremendous rings. But the ones I do, I post. I found prescription glasses, and I sent them an email if anyone is looking for them. I don't hand them over just because I know for a fact that after 6 months being in a drawer that they get rid of them. So I continue to search. I do send them a photo and with all my contact information. But there's a number of provincial parks that do not give permission to metal detecting. So it's best to ask anyways, wherever you are, in my opinion.
Definitely. So when you've been on some of these, recoveries, have you ever happened along, something that, that you discovered while you're hunting that was really amazing while you're trying to find a recovery for someone?
Usually someone else's ring.
Really?
Yes. One time I went to a private area that I have full access to, and I found 11 rings.
Holy moly.
So I sent them a photo. I colorized the photo, and I found some fancy Italian sunglasses. And turns out the owner of the area, it was his daughter's husband's ring, one of the rings, and the fancy sunglasses was the owner's daughter's friend visiting from California. It was so funny.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, and there's still more rings. There's one guy that said, if you find a platinum ring, you can keep it because I'm divorced and I don't want it back.
Yeah, something that we used to encounter when we lived in Galveston is when people were going through divorces and stuff, they would actually go out on the jetties and just toss them in the water.
Oh, that's what they say about Niagara Falls. Yeah.
Oh, really? Can you imagine what's down there?
Oh, gosh, because a lot of people will go to just get married and elope. But have you found any rings at that location you were talking about?
At the beach, is that what you're in the jetties?
At the jetty.
When I lived at the jetty, I did find a few rings near the jetties when it was low tide in Galveston. It's in the Gulf Coast, and I did find quite a few rings along there, and. The problem with where we lived there were so many vacationers, so it was near impossible unless it was something that was really very sentimental or worth, quite a bit of money. It was hard to find, because we had like boats coming in all the time, and people from all over, coming to visit, so it was really hard to find owners. But occasionally, we could find the owner and be able to return. That was always nice. But same thing with the river that I hunt in a lot now is occasionally we're able to locate an owner, especially if one of the places, we usually tell them, where could you have to pay for parking along the river, and let them know what we're doing and ask them, if there was anything recently that someone was looking for. And sometimes you'll get like a phone number and a description of a lost item. So,
yeah.
But,
yeah, that's why I take a top shot of any of the rings that I find, because they have to, and all but one have writing in them. I highly recommend people to even put their phone numbers There's telephone numbers and engraving. It's so important because it's the best identifier. Yeah.
So I just noticed in the comments that you just recently purchased the Blue 3 Nemo.
Oh, yeah.
I have been, that is awesome. We'll have to have you on again sometime, and you'll have to tell us about that because we're selling them now through Digger's Den. I sell metal detectors and equipment for Digger's Den. And because I hunt the rivers and do a lot of water hunting, I'm not diver, certified. I've been wanting to do the Blue 3 and do the really shallow, for us, deeper parts, a little deeper than, around 7 foot, 8 foot deep in the river and hunt some of those areas where other people don't go. So
I think I'm
looking forward to hearing
down to
about
Texas to train you.
You definitely should. You definitely should.
Maybe we'll grab
would
Lady
be fun.
Carlotta. We'll grab Lady Carlotta on the way and bring her up too. And I'll bring Ann as well. She's an amazing diver as well, and she loves the Blue Nemo. That's when I saw her use that, I thought, 4 pounds. You're lugging around 4 pounds compared to a 60 to 80 pound 100 steel tank. And I have 4 tanks, and they each cost on sale $470 each. And then it gives me 2 hours, 20 minutes air. And when they're all done, I have to drive an hour and 10 minutes away to get them filled at $20 a shot. So,
oh my goodness!
Most of the water hunting is within 10, 15 feet.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's kind of been my thing with wanting to, because I do a lot of water hunting and I've wanted to get diver certified for so long, and then I'm thinking of all the costs and all of that. I just think it would be so much easier to do the Blue 3. I mean, the Nemo. So I'm anxious to hear what you think about that. So
yeah, I'll be taking some video. I know a few people that use it. They're not open water certified. It is highly recommended. But if you're just going 8 feet down and you have a backup person to watch you, or, you're going to find a ton more goodies. But I really recommend that you take a course. And a lot of the training's online now with Patty, or I'm with the SSI, Groundhog Divers out of Kitchener. It's all online. For your testing, and then you can there is people still doing classroom testing, but I highly recommend it. You're just that.
Yeah, definitely going to do that. And I definitely don't want to do it alone, always with someone. And I was on the swim team years ago and stuff like that. But it's a whole different ball game when you're down underwater and all that. It's just so definitely looking forward to trying that out.
Good for you. How about you, Amanda? Are you interested in water hunting to use the Blue 3 Nemo or get a open water certification?
I actually was looking into that at the beginning of this year, and then everything happened. So the dive area in the dive school in my area had shut down, and now they're only taking certain, it's gotten a lot more complicated. And with winter coming, I will probably hold off until next year. But I have been researching the Nemo. I do get in the water. I probably get up to my waist, a little bit higher, but other than that, I'm a pretty good swimmer. Growing up on the seacoast here, It's just getting under the water to detect. Haven't done it, and haven't done the snorkeling or anything. And I really was. I've been getting into the rivers a lot more this past year. So it does sound very interesting. And yeah, my plans changed for 2020, so maybe 2021.
Yeah. A lot of people here will do the classroom portion or the online portion, and then they'll do their dives down in the warm waters of the Caribbean. So that could be an option for you as well. Do your written portion through the winter, and then book a trip with Gypsy,
and then
down
she
in
can
Florida.
come visit me. Yeah.
I'll come and
true.
video.
She can come visit me in Texas, and then we can take a trip to Florida. Yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be.
So I'm going to change the subject here real quick because we're getting close to the end here, and some people are jumping over, getting ready to go on to to Relics Radio Show. So I know Amanda has a few more questions, and I have a few more questions. So go for it, Amanda.
Well, one of them was going to be, you were talking about that 17-hour trip. I was going to ask if you've actually traveled even farther to detect or just to do a recovery than that.
That's the longest recovery distance I've traveled. I've traveled down to the Central Florida metal detecting event. That was awesome, meeting everyone. It would have been this past weekend, would have been my 5th year in a row to go to a DDPA, Dirt Digging Pennsylvania, with I call them my brother and sister because they're like family to me now. I have a room in their house. I help them out, and I really missed that event because I feel like I miss seeing my family, my detecting family. Again, Pound the Ground last year. I've gone to Dig in South Jersey. Joe DeMarco, he has an epic event, absolutely wonderful event. The same with DDPA, and Central Florida was incredible. But Joe, it was awesome. Again, he's postponed this year's event. And it's just nice to meet everyone. The Pound the Ground was insane. But you got to meet everyone, like my favorite YouTube stars and Quarter Hoarder and his gang. I love those guys. They're down to earth and they're honest. They promote they're ambassadors. That's what I like, being an ambassador to women, ambassador to this hobby. Meeting Carlotta and her crazy husband and that other crazy one, King George. I love those guys. They're so fun. We had them at Toronto one year, and they were just awesome. They were incredible with the kids. They made everyone feel so at home, comfortable, and just they were so funny. It was an excellent event. But yeah, I want to go over to England for their big event when it's safe to do so. And I've had an invite down to Australia. One of the ring find that I had up in, we call it cottage country in the Muskokas, she was visiting from Australia and lost her wedding band in through the cracks of a dock. And that one guy went up, he couldn't find it. And I went up and found it. And she said, anytime you want to come down. But also, Jean's down there. I want to hook up with Jean and detect with her. She's an awesome ring finder down in Australia. And, there's so many areas. When I first started, I was thinking, where am I going to go? Like, there's nowhere. Are you kidding? There's so many places. Oh, right. It's just, and you know what? The wintertime, take the time and do research for old properties and get that all set up with the, a lot of times when I go to a farmer's field, like this past weekend, 2 different farmers, one of them I'm teaching, their boy is challenged, and I get some donated metal detectors and I pass it on to a little boy or a little girl that shows interest. And this little guy, even though he's challenged, he's quite a digger. So we have two properties, and one is 1857, and just found that beautiful 1859 Canadian large cent. It's in incredible condition. And in 1939, it was a token for the first visit to Canada by Queen Victoria and the King George. So I found an beautiful old decorative suspender clip at the same property, and I left it with them. So now they go and tell the other farmer. It's like, oh, look what the lady found here. It's like, oh, she's got to come to my place next. And then I had another one just around the corner, and I went there last night. I always give I don't know if anyone notices, but I give my areas names. I call it Project Paluzzo, Project Pilot Paluzzo, because that's who gave this detector to this young boy through me. And then yesterday I was at Project Ryan Ginger because the farmer always feeds me beverages. Can you guess what the beverage is? It's a Ryan Ginger. So I always nickname like Project Apples or Project Zulu, where it used to be a very old airport. Just something fun for me to do, and just keep. I usually take the GPS off the phone when I take pictures and videos, and just I have the utmost respect for the properties. So yes, it's Spike David.
So we're nearing the end here. I wanted to point out, maybe I tried to post it earlier, maybe somebody else, Bill, maybe you can post the link here to Alison's YouTube channel. We have, it is Pink Power Alley Treasure Hunter on YouTube. Be sure and check out that latest video of that return as well. And then you also have, be sure you can go to theringfinders.com. And you're listed among the ring finders. Is that how that works?
Yeah, I'm listed in Ontario in two different cities. We have to pay to be a member. The more cities we want to be listed in, the more we have to pay. But usually get that back in the first 4 or 5 rings. Well, everyone charges different. Some people don't charge at all. I wish I could be like that, but I have to cover my time and my fuel. So I'm listed under Brampton, Ontario, and Wasaga Beach. And I also have the Facebook page, Pink Power Alley Treasure Hunter, that I try and divert from my personal page. So.
Perfect. So Bill posted the link to your YouTube channel.
Thank you,
Alison
Bill.
Pink Power. And also, y'all be sure and check her out on Facebook. And are you on Instagram as well, or any of the other social media?
Usually just Facebook and Instagram as well. I have a few accounts. I need to find someone to market me. I guess Alison Walker 48 is one with 1A. And I just created one, Pink Power Alley Treasure Hunter, because I was recently interviewed by the Cottage Life after one of the dock recoveries, but I haven't seen the story yet. So, which is going to make me super busy.
Wow.
Again, 95% of people have no clue that the Ring Finders directory is global, and it's existed for 28 years.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's incredible.
I remember signing up, years ago, but it didn't cost at that point.
And I did too a long time ago. But yeah, it didn't cost anything then, I don't think either.
Yeah, so I just went and
Yeah, I
looked, and
think
I'm
I
like,
paid.
yeah, I'm gone. I'm not on there anymore. I'm like, oh, I was free.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, my for 2 pounds I paid $162 US.
Phew.
And our dollar's not that great.
So what's the most incredible ring find or ring return, or it doesn't even have to be a ring, I guess, return or anything which one's meant the most to you? Or
there's a couple. My very first one with Trish, I found her Vera Wang engagement ring and wedding band 175 feet from shore, because we have sandbars that go out. After my 4th time, she was my first customer, and I never charged her. She donated $500. It's incredible. And she turned around and gave me some money that I bought a beautiful pink mask and snorkel set. But I think the biggest one so far is the recent one with Anne. I don't think there's anything going to top the journey itself, going with another incredible ring finder person, and a diver. She's just she loves to drive. She drove down to Texas to the Garrett Memorial Hunt, 2 years ago by herself. And the next year she went with another girlfriend from the same area. They drove all the way down to the Texas Hunt. And she was scheduled to go again, as well as I was going to sign up with Meadow Pirate Girl. And we were going to meet up and drive down. I wasn't going to surprise anyone down there like I did Carlotta at the on the ground. That was so funny. I kept telling everyone, no, I'm not going.
Oh, well, yeah, she was so surprised. Memorable. And that was. And Metal Pirate Girl, was all letting me know about, the Garrett Hunt, and then I was so sad that got shut down. But hopefully this next year,
Yep.
We can
everyone behave and let's be positive and get over this.
Right.
This COVID.
Get over this mess. Let's see. You have any more questions, Amanda?
No, I'm good. She answered pretty well.
All right. Well,
I'm honored to fill in too. I'm very honored that you are fill in, and
well, we definitely want to have you on again sometime. We'd love to. I feel like sometimes we just get into some of the questions, and there's still some more questions that we would like to ask, but we try to shut it down in time because there's another show on right after this, and because some of the people like to listen to both shows. So we sure appreciate you for being on here, and be sure if you're coming to the Texas area or down this way next year, just let us know, and we'll definitely plan some time to get together. And if I'm ever in the Canadian area, I would love to meet up with you.
Here, get your passport. You and Amanda come on up, and I'll show you to some beautiful areas in Ontario, and we'll do some
sounds wonderful.
Great hunting, and you can drag Carlotta, and I'll grab Anne and a couple the other ladies up here.
Sounds fabulous. Sounds great.
My door's open.
Well, we definitely need to do that. I've got my passport. It's been ready before COVID hit because I was planning on doing some travel. Amanda and I had already had a trip booked and everything, and I was going to come up there and to the main area, and we were going to hit some dumps, and we had it all planned out. And anyway,
hey, maybe we can meet over in England. What do you say we meet over in England?
Yeah, actually, I just got invited. I'll get the information when I get a chance for coming up this next year. if you are familiar with metal detecting holidays, and I don't know how many spots that they'll have left on there, but it would be awesome if we could all meet up and go then together. So I'll keep y'all posted on when that is.
That sounds great.
So,
I have family in Scotland. All my family's from Scotland.
Do you? Wow.
Yeah. Lots of history there. Oh, my.
For
I need
sure,
to win the lottery. The Canadian lottery.
We all do.
50 million right now for tomorrow night's draw. 50 million plus.
Oh my goodness! Are you feeling lucky? You gonna go try for it?
Oh, I always try for it, even if it's just one line, a $6 ticket.
Wow!
What you could do with that? I'd help a lot of people out. There's a lot of people. Suffering right now. So yeah.
So true. Well, thanks again, Alison. It's been a pleasure, and we look forward to having you on in the future and getting to meet up with you and do some digging together. Thank you all. We enjoyed it. Hope to see y'all all again, hopefully next week. Thanks again. Good night, all.
Good night.
Stay safe, all. God bless.